Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Raider Sports. How are we doing today? So we got a lot more realignment talk that has been going on in the last, couple days, and it has been actually a real whirlwind. If you want to talk about the fact that Conference USA is just about to lose 6 teams, and now, and those teams once again, if you haven't heard, they are Florida Atlantic, Charlotte, Rice, North Texas, Texas San Antonio, and UAB. Now, is there a possibility that not all of them get in? Sure, but it's unlikely. It's pretty much the idea is that all 6 of these teams are going to get into the AAC and make the AAC a 14-team league. And so now you've got to ask, what does this all mean for Conference USA? And if you are a Conference USA fan, you are literally in the expand or die. And it seems like, and if it was that simple, actually, because teams aren't done, or conferences are not done trying to raid Conference USA, because it has just come out that the Sun Belt is actually going to expand to try to keep up with the AAC. And the Sun Belt has a 4-team list, and 3 of those teams are from Conference USA. So now, if three other teams from Conference USA would jump ship, that would leave Conference USA down to a total of 5 teams, which is below the D1 threshold for being a viable conference and getting those automatic qualifiers into the D1 championships. Basically, they at 5 teams, the Conference USA would not get, the NCAA tournament bid, if you will. So that's a really big deal for, group of 5 teams to actually get in to that, conference championship. And so not having those, you'd be fair to ask, would it be even worth Conference USA at that point even, sticking around? And the answer is probably not. Probably not. And so with the Sun Belt looking at taking Marshall, Old Dominion, and Southern Miss, who I think should have been gone already on the AAC list, and I think North Texas should be on the other list for the Sun Belt. That's just me. I just feel like that matches a bit better, but they decided to go market hunting and take North Texas over the more historic Southern Miss. And so that's something, that, hey, somebody said I was hating on North Texas, so I'm just going to leave that one alone. And so, anyway, Southern Miss is leaving. Now, the interesting thing is Conference USA has come out with their kind of 2-team list that they're trying to use to save the Conference USA, because it's been known that Old Dominion has been kind of leading the charge on this regionalization, and so having Old Dominion, being in Virginia, if they can get James Madison, and they can get Liberty, which is the 2 teams that the Conference USA has already come out and they said those are the 2 teams that they are looking at to kind of save the conference. Because if you get 2 more teams in Virginia, that makes Old Dominion a little happier. Maybe then they won't slide to the Sun Belt. And it also makes Marshall happier because it keeps the geography in there. And so a lot really, and according to Conference USA, they feel like this James Madison and Liberty thing can be done within 2 weeks. It's just the fact that the Sun Belt is also trying to get James Madison. So if the Sun Belt gets James Madison, guess what? Old Dominion jumps ship, and Marshall probably jumps ship. Southern Miss is already gone. So Then you're down to 5. Then you're down to what? Florida International, UTEP, Louisiana Tech, and UTEP's trying to work their way into the Mountain West, and it's not working out, by the way. So UTEP, Florida International, Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State, FIU. And so with those 5, you can't have, that's not a viable conference. So then you might look towards like Middle Tennessee and Western Kentucky, maybe jumping ship and going to seeing if the MAC wants to expand by 2, which, okay. I mean, I like the MAC. The MAC is, the most geographically perfect conference I've seen. And so maybe expanding them into, south to Tennessee may not actually be all that terrible. But it is a geographically perfect conference. But at that, with those 5, then you add Liberty, then you add Liberty, that would only be 6, which I think is the limit for the championship. So if they can just add Liberty, that would be fine. But it feels like Liberty, everything is in the hands of James Madison. If James Madison goes to the Sun Belt, the others 2 follow them, and maybe the Liberty thing gets pulled. I don't know. Maybe Liberty and James Madison have to come in with a package. I don't know. It really seems like James Madison is the one that's really just the fate of the entire Conference USA just feels like it is in the paws of the Dukes. And that's really what we're looking at right now. The Mountain West doesn't seem to be interested anymore in any type of expansion. So it really is, what does James Madison do? Is Liberty invited without James Madison? And how do you split up, the 5 teams that would remain, since you can't get a championship from 5? Or do you just have to go and hope you can pick up some other random FCS team? I don't know. Maybe you guys do. Let me know in the comments. What do you do with Conference USA at 5 teams? And I'm signing out.